What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm JLAG.
And I'm NB.
And we are recapping and reviewing Riverdale Season 3, Episode 5. And it's called The Great Escape.
And don't forget, guys, stick around for the ending of the podcast because we are going to go through our recap roundups, our best moments, if you had any, our MVPs, our LVPs. So be sure to stick around for that.
And for anybody who's just joining us for the very first time, thank you so much for coming through. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And for our returning listeners, thanks for coming back. Let's get into the episode, y'all.
Yeah. Oh, God. Do we have to? Do we have to do this podcast? Is this mandatory? Because I am, you know what, guys, and I'm so sorry to start off the podcast this way, but like, I am the biggest Riverdale fan. I stood by it this entire time.
Yeah. But
this was the first episode where it made me worry about this show. Yeah. Because I can like, just seeing people's tweets on Twitter, first of all, was like already like worrying me because everyone's like, what the F is happening right now? Yeah. And if other people are saying that, like, I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like, this is whack. Like, yeah, I definitely this show is going off the rails. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, this episode got really, really crazy and really, really weird. I did not understand where they were going with like half the shit that was happening. I guess it all kind of makes sense at the end of it all, but there's too many storylines happening. Okay, so there's that already happening. There's like, and I guess everything's kind of tying together because by the end of it, we find out that there is a larger connection with like the jail and stuff. But I'm 100% over this whole Archie storyline. So I'm glad he's out of jail because I couldn't stand that whole fucking thing from the get-go. So I guess he's escaped now, but also like I'm very annoyed about that. I don't know. Like I totally agree with you. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying too. I think by the end of it, you're like, okay, like I know that he needs to be out of jail. I know that his friends have to get him out. But they can't get him out. Like, he's in juvie, guys. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, how can these 16-year-old children, like, break him out of a prison? Like, I know he needs to be out. And, like, he just looks really fucked up. Like, he's injured and stuff. Like, I get that. And, like, I want him to be safe. But, like, this doesn't make sense. Like, it became way too unrealistic. And I'm just like, what are they doing? Like, what? Like, where did this show get to this point? Yeah, like what am I like? Josie's freaking serving drinks and then they turn into like explosions. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, who's letting these kids like just walk into this prison? Like,
it got really whack.
It just makes no sense.
It just got really whack. I don't even know how to go through this episode, honestly, just because I feel like so much happens, but at the same time, it all leads to this one big moment that was also really crazy. Like, it was just, I don't know. Anyway, let's just try to get through the episode, guys. I'm sorry we're being such bummers, but let's just start from the top. So it starts off with Jughead, and he's still playing the game. So it's kind of a few moments before Betty goes down into the bunker. And he's narrating it, saying that, like, you're trying to escape. And then it shows Archie literally trying to escape jail because he's talking to his, like, crew about the game. And it's almost like it's, like, being reenacted in real life, which happens a lot throughout this episode. So Archie tries to escape because, like, there's like a little hole in the freaking fence. They all like dip. So it's like him, Joaquin, like a bunch of other people like distract, and then they start running and they all get like shot. Like they all fail basically.
Like, how was this a smart idea to make a run for it when there's like 50,000 guards like just hanging out on the fence? Like did you guys really think you were gonna get away?
Literally, usually escapes happen at nighttime. Like
when there's no one around. So like
it doesn't make any sense. And like you guys know how much annoyance I feel from this storyline from the get-go, just because of the fact that he literally volunteered himself into the situation. And I just get more and more angry thinking about the fact that he tried to escape. So this episode already, like, from the top, him trying to escape and then failing made me very annoyed and very pissed. I was like, nobody does this, first of all. You're an idiot for being there in the first place. And at the same time, you realize that you're going to be like adding more shit to your sentence by doing anything illegal, you fucking idiot.
And like, it's not even a legit plan. Like, at least if it was like a well thought out plan, like, oh, we're going to escape at midnight when no one's watching. I'm like, okay, fine. Like, try that, homie. Yeah. No, like broad daylight, guards out, everyone's out. I'm going to try to run through that electric fence. friends. Like,
oh
my God. Like, it's just ridiculous.
I seriously couldn't deal with it this
terrible.
episode.
Yeah. And I think too, like, I think just coming off the last week's episode, the flashback, and like how amazing it was.
Yeah.
I was like, this is terrible. I'm sorry. This is terrible.
I'm just like, I want to go back to like regular like school drama. Like, the fucking kid is in jail. They're playing some crazy ass game. Like, why are we watching this right now?
Yeah, it's
so
too
whack.
much. It's too much.
So anyway, it goes back to Jughead, and he's in the bunker and he's talking and whatever. Like, it's back to like the present time when Betty gets downstairs and she's like, what the fuck is happening? And so she explains that the conversation that she had, like, everybody dips and then it's just her and him talking in the bunker, and he's like, true, I guess it makes sense, like my dad used to play it too. And he starts talking like crazy. He's basically like, this game has been so much bigger than like just the board, you know, like all these little things that have been happening in our lives have like really led to this one thing. Like, he's starting to sound crazy. He's like, this is like
his
the
voice
real
even
life
sounds
game.
different.
Yeah.
Do you believe that he's kind of losing it, or do you think he's still kind of like playing a game, like he knows what he's doing?
I don't think he knows I think he knows what he's doing, because he makes sense, and we've seen him kind of like spiral into this like kind of insanity level before, but this was a little different, like, because he's kind of obsessed with the game at the same time, because it seems like he needs to play it in order to win. I don't know, it got very weird, but I don't know, how do you feel about him like being this way?
I don't know. You're right. Like, he did make a few good points, so I was like, okay, maybe he's still there to some capacity, and like he knows what he's doing. But like, like his voice was definitely like different, and like even Betty's eyes are like, just calm down. Like, what's wrong with you?
Okay?
Like, come down one like notch.
One step. And at one point in time, like, he's like, the game is like in order to catch the game master, you have to become the game master.
Yeah.
And she's like, one of her parents could be murderers. Can we just like talk about that for a second?
Betty's whole mission this whole episode is like, guys, can you listen to me for 1 minute?
Yeah, basically. So anyway, she's like, you seem like you're crazy right now. Why don't you just stay in this bunker? Because at
just
least
stay
you're
here.
Like, like, she's like, don't move. Just, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, like, you're safe here, so just keep playing with yourself.
So then it cuts to the lodge res, and Veronica's like having this next level breakfast. She's just like eating like 17 croissants at the same time, like whatever, this crazy spread. First of all,
she's like stress eating.
I thought that she was like cut off, but like clearly she still lives at home. She still gets like some next level breakfast every morning. So her version of cut off is definitely not my version of cut off.
Her version of cut off is still like rich girl. Yeah, like it's still good.
Yeah, it's pretty great actually. So whatever. So she's like reading the newspaper because that's what 16-year-olds do, and then Hiram comes in and
Hiram's like stretching. He's like yeah. He's like, why don't you come jog with me, mija, in the mornings? And he's like stretching his arms. And like he just looks good. He looks tan again.
Good. And he's like all sweaty and shit. And he's basically trying to prod at her and poke at her and say like, oh yeah, I heard that there was some crazy thing that happened at the jail. Archie tried to get out and now his like sentence is probably going to be extended. And she literally looks at him dead ass in the face and is like, I don't give a fuck what you say to me right now. My man is getting out of jail. I'm going to get him out of jail. So bye, bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, she's literally like, she's like, you're trying to set me off right now. She goes, not working. So sit the fuck down.
Yeah. So then
like their conversations are not very like father-daughter combos.
Definitely not father-daughter
like if I ever talk to my dad like that, bitch, I gotta move out.
Yeah, literally. So as soon as she leaves, he calls the warden. He's like, yo, homie, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Warden Norton at the jail with Archie, and Archie's like tied to the bed, and he's like, yo, like it wasn't anybody else's fault, it was my fault.
It's
and he's
on
like,
me. Yeah.
He's like, no, I know that, obviously, that's why you're tying it up.
That's why I'm about to burn your ass.
And so yeah, he like has a fucking like cattle prod, like those like markers, and it's like heated up. It's like the iron rod, and he's about to mark him. And obviously we find out what it is later, but like I was like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah,
like,
I think you're right. This was the one moment I felt like I had like 3 strikes this episode. This was the first strike where I was like, what the actual fuck? Like he literally is gonna burn him. What is going on? How is this possible? Yeah. Like where did we get off, guys? Like to the writer's room, like where the fuck did we get off where we're like doing these things? Like this is crazy. This is too much.
Like,
you know?
in what worlds were the writers like, and then he brands him with an iron rod? Like what?
Yeah.
Why?
And in his prison cell as he's tied up to the freaking bed. Like, it's just, I don't know what they were thinking in there. Like, I really don't.
The promo of this episode did not give it any justice because I was so excited, and then this got crazy as fuck. I did not know what I was getting myself into when I watched this episode. So anyway, he gets branded, and then it cuts to Betty, Reggie, and Kevin and Josie, and they're all chilling at school like normal fucking kids, and they're talking about her parents. Like, she's like, I talked to my mom, and there's some sketchy thing that happened in their past, and they all used to be friends. Can you guys low-key investigate your parents to see what the hell's going on?
She was like, Betty's like, Sierra, your mom was like this like lit girl, like politician.
Yeah.
She's like, my mom? Really? I was like, have you never spoken to your mom about her childhood? Like, what the F? Like, what kind of relationship do you guys have?
And also, like, it's not that far of a stretch. She's like, she used to be the mayor.
Yeah,
like,
she was literally the mayor. She's like, my mom used to do those things.
Yeah.
When?
Like, you're trying to tell me that my mom was as crazy as political. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not that hard to
she
believe.
was literally a mayor and then a lawyer, or like a lawyer before being a mayor. So no, Josie, it's not that far-fetched.
So
and then even she like points to Kevin. She goes, and like your parents like had a thing,
like from
time. And then they're like, oh really? Like Kevin's like, my dad was cool like that. Like, they have no idea about their parents' like history.
So all she says basically at this point is like, investigate your parents. Oh, it'll do me a favor. And even Reggie's like, oh, fine, whatever.
But she's not telling them exactly like what's the deal, right?
She doesn't want to tell them like the details of the murder and like how there's like connection there just yet.
Yeah.
So then it cuts to the speakeasy, and Veronica is like lighting every type of candle in this fucking business. And like, I'm like, why is she lighting all the candles? There's nobody in the speakeasy right now.
Like, it's not even open. What is happening?
What a waste of candles. Like, I don't get it. So then she's talking to Elio. So if you don't remember, Elio is one of her like suitors from the like last season.
I did love him though. He was really cute.
Yeah, he was cute, and like he seemed like a very like smart businessman. And I wonder if he is going to be this unexpected love interest that we heard about in the beginning of the season.
I could see them definitely together for sure.
Yeah, like they're kind of like a low-key power couple, which I'm so into.
For sure.
And he definitely does a lot for her this episode. So she's talking to him, and then she's like, I hit a dead end about the, with the Innocence Project. I'm like, did you even try for more than a week? Like,
I was like, oh yeah, that huge thing that you were gonna do for your freaking boyfriend. Like, what happened to that?
She's like,
how do you go from that to like, I'm gonna just break him out of prison?
Yeah, like literally, it's like the full opposite thing that you should be doing.
Yeah.
So she does find out apparently that the jail has some sort of mob connection. So she's like, can you please look into it? And Elio's like, okay, fine, whatever. I'm like, the whole, and he's like, tit for tat. Like, if I help you, then like you have to help me.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but she's like, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to Jughead, and he's just like chilling. And then Cheryl and Tony kind of storm in because they're complaining about the fact that Fangs and Sweet Pea are like running around, like shooting arrows at shit. Like, they're just acting.
And she's
psycho.
like, we were trying to hook up, me and like,
yeah,
Tony, and she's like, our tent kept getting like hit.
Like,
I was like,
crazy.
what?
And then he goes outside and he talks to Sweet Pea and Fangs, and they're like, we want to go on a mission, we want to go on a quest, like let's take this off the board. And Jughead's like, I'm the game master, I get to choose how this game is played. And then he does some crazy ass thing that I'm like, are we wasting time right now? Because
totally.
I got shit to do today. I need to make dinner tonight. So, like, why am I watching this? So he asks Cheryl to fire an arrow at his head with like a Coke bottle on the top of his head. And everyone's like, yo, what's going on? And then she shoots it, and it's like perfect. And then everyone's like shook by it. And then he says it again. He's like, Sweet Pea, if you want to try it, then you go ahead and do it. But just know that I am the game master, so sit down and shut the fuck up.
Like, I am the game master now.
Yeah, it's just weird. So then Elio calls Veronica really quickly and then says, like, I got some news for you. And then he kind of, like, deals with that later. And then it cuts to the next day, I think, and FP and Jughead are talking in the trailer. And FP sees that he's playing the game, so like he has the manual out or something, and he's like, oh wow, you're still playing that fucking game, eh? Like, you didn't even listen to me.
Yeah.
And then Jughead's like, well, you didn't tell me that you had all this history with Alice and like this game, so why don't you tell me your side of the story? And then
For a second, I was like, "Ooh, flashback episode part 2."
I know.
I'm like,
I was
FP's
like-
perspective. I'm like, I'm so down for that.
I'm
Yeah.
so down.
Yeah.
But no, we don't get it because he's like Alice's side is like only one side of the story, and I'm like,
I bet
totally
you if
down
they
to
ever
hear
do
your
another
side.
one, they'll do that. You know what
like
I mean?
a different perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm totally into that.
From like the guy's perspective.
So then Jughead basically says like, I'm pretty sure like the game master is who killed them. Like Betty thinks it was one of you guys, but I think it was someone who was already setting up the game and whatever.
Yeah.
And because FP doesn't really know what happened either, because he kind of still thinks that I guess one of the parents did it too. So like Jughead's like, no, like I'm pretty sure it's somebody else because I've been playing this game for like a week and it's like been crazy. So then it cuts to Pop's diner, and then there's like a really cute moment with Sierra, Tom, and Kevin and Josie, and they're all just like hanging out, eating like burgers
dinner
and just chilling. And like Sierra and Tom are so fucking happy. Like I was so happy for them because they were finally together, and especially after last week's episode and how they couldn't be together like their entire adolescence, and seeing them together now, I'm like, I'm so freaking happy for you guys.
Yeah.
And so they asked them kind of like low key, like Kevin and Josie are like, so did you guys hang out in high school? And Sierra and Tom basically say, not really. We didn't hang out in the same circles. We didn't really do anything. And then they just flat out ask like, did you ever play this game G&G? And they lie and they say, no, we've never did it. And then she's like, so Sierra's like, but since we're all here together, she kind of changes the subject. And she's like, since we're all here together, I got something to say. And I already knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like at that point. Then it cuts to like jail, and Monica Posh.
So Monica Posh is now in town with Elio at the juvie for this party. Because apparently now they have fight club parties. Like where like the men of the town come.
Right, and she can get on the inside from like the back end entrance.
Right, because nobody recognizes her as Veronica Lodge.
No, because
she's
that
Monica
wig
Posh.
is flawless. Apparently, like I don't know, it's like some special disguise. So, she's like, "There's a fight about to happen," and Eel's just kind of chilling. And then this guy walks in, and he's wearing a hood, and she's like, "I'd recognize those abs anywhere."
Yeah,
I'm like, "All right, girl."
She's like, "That's my man."
And then she realizes that it's Archie and he's fighting. And then after the fight, Monica, I want to keep calling her Monica while she's wearing the wig. So Monica goes to visit Archie in the locker room.
Yeah.
And essentially they just fuck, like, right? Like they just like,
She's like, oh my God, Archie, I missed you. He's like, bitch, shut up. We got 20 minutes. He's like, we better do this quickly. Like
don't speak right now. Like,
that's basically what happens. But then like right after, like when they do like whatever, like they're putting their clothes on, she's like, oh, hold on, let me talk to you about your life. Hold on, like, okay, I tried to save you, but I couldn't through the Innocent Project, so like I gotta do a prison break with you, and like
so we gotta escape. Yeah, like basically we're gonna sneak you into a drain.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't even know if I can get through there. And she's like, curse your beautiful broad shoulders. I'm like, get me out of this episode right now.
I know.
I'm so
you know what?
it.
It's so true. And as I was like writing notes down too, I was like, I wonder what JLAG is gonna say. Like, is he gonna feel the same frustration as me right now? Like, this is effing ridiculous. Like, this is a skit on SNL.
I seriously wrote, I'm literally over this storyline. I'm effing over it. I'm actually so done, and I'm glad that he's out of jail by the end of this episode, because I cannot deal with one more episode of this fucking kid in this damn jail that he tried to break out of, which he volunteered to go into. Like, I'm over it. I'm so over it.
When you repeat it like that, it sounds insane.
Like, it's dumb. Because it is insane.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm gonna have my next fight like next week or like in a couple of days, and she's like, that's when we're gonna do it, okay? So just keep an eye out for us, basically.
Yeah. She's like, if you see my blonde wig, it's time.
It's time to go. Yeah. So then it cuts back to Jughead and his friends, and he's like, yo, we're gonna play the game tomorrow, like, let's get ready. And everyone's getting so lit about it. And then it cuts back to Betty, Tom, Josie, and Reggie, like, just hanging out. I don't know how I feel about them as a quad. Like, they're kind of lame. Don't you think?
It's like a little random, but I don't mind it.
I'm not angry, but also I'm just like, Reggie was kind of annoying me this episode.
It really did feel like they were really squishing them all together to be a part of this mission. But I think at the end I was like, okay, it's like the one good thing of this freaking episode. I'm just gonna accept it and love it.
I'm just gonna
because it was just terrible otherwise. So I was like, okay, at least like we're seeing the whole cast here and everyone's getting paid. Everyone's getting paid this week. It's good. Like life is good. Let's do this.
That's true. So it turns out, like, so they all kind of report back, and Josie and Kevin are like, no, they didn't tell me shit. They basically just said that they were getting married, so that was helpful. Yeah. And then Reggie's like dad, who like we still don't know what this guy fucking looks like, but he punches Reggie. Yeah. For he's like asking.
Well, I asked my dad about it, and look at my eye now, so that's what happened. That's basically what he says.
And so they're trying to figure out this whole situation. Meanwhile, Veronica's like, guys, I need your help. And I forgot that Veronica was doing her own thing until this one moment.
She walks in and she's like, guys, everyone shut up. We have to do my plan right now. She's like, I be ready, okay? It's my plan.
Like, I'm taking over the rest of this episode, so let's go right now. So that's basically what happens. So they drop everything. And then it cuts back to the bunker, and Betty is like, yo, we need your help. And like Jughead is starting a game up again, and he's got like fucking candles literally everywhere. I don't understand what this.
He like took them from Veronica, probably. She's like, here, I made you candles.
I ordered an extra box. Why don't you take it to your bunker?
Can I just say really quickly, like, shout out to what's his face, Dilton, for like making the coolest bunker ever. Like,
that's true.
It's so roomy.
It's very
it has
livable.
Like mood lighting. It has a bed. It has like everything that you would ever need in there. Like, it's actually a pretty sick place.
It's true. It's very like impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's like, I need your help to help break out Betty, or no, break
Archie,
out Archie.
Yeah.
And
he's just like Ethel. Like Ethel talked about like being worthy, so I have to be worthy for Ethel because like she kissed me and like now we're like a thing.
No, yeah, I mean, for the most part, he's just like, this is amazing. This is a part of the quest. Like, we have to do something next level, something that's like self-sacrificing. And Betty like loses it on him. She's like, this is not a game. This is a freaking serious situation. And she's like, fuck it, I'm taking her bike. I'm going. And then I'm like, since when does she ride a bike? Like,
first I was like,
motorcycles?
First I legit forgot that he had a motorcycle. I'm like, oh, she's taking his like bicycle. And then after I saw her with the motorcycle, I'm like, oh, that's like, what she meant. Right.
So then it cuts back to like this next level dinner that the warden and Archie are having.
So effing creepy.
Literally, he says to him, he's like, so you're like being extra nice to me ever since I tried to break out of the jail. Are you gonna kill me?
Do you want to fuck me? Like, what's happening here?
Like, what's happening? And he's like, yeah, I'm basically gonna kill you. Like, this is your last fight.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. So since I'm gonna die in the next few hours, could you tell me how I was framed?
Yeah, well, it was. I was not expecting this at all. He was like, "So I'm gonna die. So like, can you just tell me like how Hiram set me up? Because I really want to know." So and I was like, "But why?"
And this is my why shout out now? To like the writers. It's like, you guys spend so much time creating this elaborate fucking storyline about him going to jail and like this like little like mashup, this and this. And this is how you guys wrote this explanation. Like, in 2 sentences, he's basically like, oh, yeah, it was Cassidy's friends that were paid off by Hiram. And that is how I'm like, oh, okay. So it was that easy, really? Like, all summer long, Betty has been in a fucking law firm trying to figure out this goddamn case.
Yeah, and it's so true.
That's how it all came down. And, like, anyway, I just don't feel like there's a level of, like, thought that's put into the way this all gets put together. And yes, in these moments, guys, I understand I have to take a step back and realize we're talking about a freaking comic book based television show, but
but you're right, it doesn't like Riverdale has been good the last 2 seasons. It's been good, right? Yeah. Like, so yes, I get that it's a comic book show. Yes, I get that it's on the CW, but like they've been good. Like they've had a good run. So I expect that level. This is absurd. This is like everyone in the writer's room was on crack and they didn't listen to each other because nothing fits. things just feel like they're being thrown
Yeah.
for like, why is he asking this question right now? And like,
And how is he answering him so
would the warden
happily?
even know that information? Like, it's just everything just seems so far fetched and so far from reality. Like, it's worse than Sabrina at this point. Like,
Yeah.
Sabrina seems more real than this shit. Like,
And Sabrina has magic.
Magic.
In it.
Yeah, for real.
Come on, guys. So anyway, so yeah, he does basically say like they're probably in hiding, and he's like, if I were them, I would be in the mines by Shadow Lake. So we all know what's gonna happen next episode. He's gonna go to the mines in Shadow Lake.
right.
And then he asks him, so how do you even know Hiram? Like, why are you even friends with him? And he's like, or like, how does he own you? And this guy like goes crazy, and he's like, my soul belongs to no mere mortal. And then I was like, Satan? Like, are you also a part of the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina?
Yeah.
And then I realized like later on, it's like,
He's like,
definitely
no
someone
man can judge one man's prophecy on the universe. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm done. I am so effing done with this shit.
else. I,
Like,
click.
just die. Just drink your
Yeah.
poison and die. Like, I know
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen. Like,
So then it cuts to, at that moment, did you think that he was connected to the whole like
no, I
game and
didn't.
shit?
I didn't, but the cup that he drank from, I was
Yeah.
like, wait, I'm like, I've seen that cup like last episode, like freaking Alice.
100%. The cup gave it away for me
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
So anyway, so then it cuts back to Veronica, and she's getting her people ready. And then at the same time, it is kind of a cool cut, but it got really annoying very
It
fast.
did get annoying. It did,
where,
yeah.
like, Jughead is telling his side of the story to, like, his next level friends. And then Veronica's, like, doing her real mission at the same time. So
I think those montages look really cool when you do it once. So like they
Once.
did it kind of in the
Literally one time.
beginning. Yeah, they did it in the beginning and they did it again here. And I was like, no, guys, it's enough. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get that they're synced up. We got it. Let's
Yeah.
just keep going. Let's just roll with it. Like,
let's just roll with it. So then, so yeah, they come up with this next level plan. They need to get distractions, so they like go to the chem class and start fucking like
Yeah.
making like cherry
she's like,
bombs.
we have to
and
make
fucking
this
smoke
thing
bombs.
with science. I was like, oh, okay, that's where this is going.
And
Guys,
also, like,
I can't. I can't.
I
can't. What?
I can't even talk about this.
Like,
I
this
can't
is
even talk about
crazy.
it.
Yeah.
So everybody has kind of like a role that's kind of set up for them.
And I have to
then-
say, right here, like Velo, she did an amazing job with the plan.
Velo.
Like, I
Yeah.
will respect her for that. I'll give it to them for this moment. Like, I love the way that like she kind of appointed it with everyone with like a role, you know?
Right. But I
yeah.
will say that like I'm over this storyline.
Oh, I was over it within like the first 15 minutes. I'm not even gonna joke. Like,
Guys,
I
5
was
minutes.
done.
5 minutes, I was done. So then Joaquin and Archie are like talking before the game, and this is when we get our kiss moment. So Joaquin's kind of like prepping him for the fight, and he's like, Archie's like, something's gonna happen, my girl's gonna come through, but don't worry, like, I'm gonna come back for you guys.
Yeah.
And then
Joaquin's like, I miss you. I'm gonna miss
he's
you.
like, love ya. He makes out with him.
Yeah.
And then Archie
Archie's
pushes
like,
him back because
dude,
he's like,
what the F?
he's like, no homo, yo, no homo. Like, he like pushes him away. Like, it was kind of funny the way he was like literally repulsed by the kiss.
Yeah, his reaction was like, what the fuck, man? Like, he was like, yeah, he was
He's
really like
I'm
insulted.
a bro. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't like you like that.
Yeah.
It was
Did they
so-
kiss for real?
I mean, yeah, I think they did kiss.
They
but, like,
kissed
it
for
wasn't
real.
like a
Damn,
make
wow.
out sesh. It
No,
was
no,
just, like,
for
a kiss.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, obviously like KJ Appa's like masculinity is shook in that moment, and he's like, ew, I didn't like it, and then
Didn't like it, I swear, guys.
I swear I don't like it. Get away from me. And so then you hear a very like specific sentence that I was like, oh fuck, here we go. And so Joaquin says, if I do this, I'll ascend. So I'm sorry about it,
Oh,
but
Jesus.
this is about to
Yeah.
happen. And then
Yeah.
he stabs him in the like stomach. So
Yeah.
he like, yeah. And then so as this is happening, Jughead is like narrating this storyline where he's like, the fighter is now like injured and he's going to die soon. So you need to like, it's just like this too much. It was
way
being
too much.
overstimulated
Yeah.
by like a voiceover and like Jughead's storyline, which was pointless. And then everything that was happening in my face, it was just too many things happening at the same
Yeah,
time. And I
you're
think
right.
really that's what I didn't like about this episode. It was just way too much overstimulation of storylines that I could give a fuck about. So then the fight happens, right?
Yeah. So we cut back to, I guess, like the inside of like the juvie, whatever.
Right.
And it's like time for his fight, right?
Yeah. So the fight's about to start, and then Monica Posh and Reggie kind of
whole
roll
crew.
up.
Yeah. So they're in
all like
there. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're trying to get in, whatever, they get in finally. And then I wrote down like it's some like freaking Ocean's 8 shit. So if anybody's watched Ocean's 8,
and
like it's literally like 3 wigs and then 17 people working within inside like it was like a spy movie essentially.
Yeah. And like I was trying to think too like they've done missions like this when Veronica Tony saved Cheryl from the institution. So like that one felt good. That one felt like it was entertaining and it made sense for some reason. This one, I think because it was too big, like they're legit like breaking someone out of prison, guys. Like this is this is impossible. This would never happen. They're teenagers. So it almost pushed it too far.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, guys, like I really want to know what you guys think about this episode because I want to get behind it. Honestly, if I heard about it and I read it about it, I'd be like, okay, I think I can get behind that. But watching it in action, I was so annoyed about every single person's costume, everybody wearing like a fucking, like Kevin's out here wearing like a full out like outfit, like Josie's out here wearing some next level freaking waitress outfit. Like I couldn't deal with it. Like it was too much.
I know.
So then it kind of keeps cutting back between like everybody's different roles. Betty's basically like this. She was like the coolest person in this entire thing.
Yeah.
She's like this
she
badass.
Looks badass.
With, like,
she looked like Alice last week, basically.
Yeah, which I was like so totally feeling.
Yeah.
And then so she's riding the motorcycle. She's gonna be like the escape girl. And then Kevin's gonna be the person that like opens up the lock, but like he couldn't even get that far because he's fucking useless. Yeah. And then I think it was Josie's gonna be the like bartender who's gonna
I think Josie and Reggie were like the servers who had like the concoctions ready. Got it.
So then they hand them out later, like these like cans of pop or whatever that have like fucking smoke bombs inside. Yeah. And then so while this is all happening on the outside and I guess on the inside too, Kevin's like opening up the grate like on the very outside
on the sewer.
And he realizes that there's like this next level lock on it anyway. He's trying to open it up and then he sees Joaquin like randomly like running through the freaking He's like, what the fuck are you doing here, Joaquin? And he's like, no, you gotta go. Like he's just telling Kevin just leave, but he's not answering any questions. And then he's like, I'm sorry, bro. And then he like runs away. I was like, what the fuck is going on with Joaquin? I did like seeing them together, but it's such a random thing to happen. And like, how come Moose isn't a part of this whole storyline too? Like that's what I was thinking.
I mean, really, is that what you're thinking right now in this moment? Really? Add like one more effing person? Like, really, man?
Adding one more character to this
jeez. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, whatever. So Kevin's useless again because he's like freaking shooketh. And Betty comes by and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, everything's ready to go.
Like, hello?
And he's like, yeah, I can't get this lock open. Can I go now?
Yeah.
Like, I just saw Cat.
Oh my God. He's so thirsty.
Even when they're giving Kevin a sick storyline, they can't even get him far enough.
They were like, yo, Kevin's gonna come through. Oh, never mind. Joaquin's there, so no, he's not gonna. No.
He's like dickmatized once again. Like, come on, guys.
Always.
Come on. So yeah, even Betty's like, relax, bro. Like, you can't find him. He's like, he ran into the woods. Like, just stay here. So anyway, so then that happens. And then the fight starts. But then you find out that Archie is fighting Mad Dog. So Mad Dog wasn't dead.
No.
So we got to see his abs again. Thank God.
Yes, thank God.
And thank God. And so they start fighting, and Archie's basically like trying to tell him the plan. He's like, yo, I'm already stabbed for one.
He's like, yo, come closer. Let me talk to you. Come closer. Come closer. He's like, I'm going to get out of here from that sewer hole in the bottom of the pool. Yeah. And what does Mad Dog say? He's like, bro, I tried that. Like, good luck. Like, it didn't work.
No, well, he basically says, he's like, you're going to need more time than just like this freaking distraction that your next friends are going to do.
Yeah.
So they're whatever. He's like kind of talking through the plan as they're fighting. And then Hiram at one point in time spots Veronica, obviously because she's wearing a blonde fucking wig. She literally, if
she
might
stands
as
out
well-
more. She stands out more in the wig
Yeah.
than she would have just if she was Veronica.
I didn't understand this whole situation, guys. I couldn't deal with this part of the episode or the
Oh my
entire
god,
episode.
it's so cringe. I can't even get through it. Like talking about it.
So then Hiram spots her. He like chases after her, and he's like, whatever you're trying to do, like it's over now. And in that moment too, I was like, okay, then end it. Like turn on all the lights. Like let's just get everybody out of here because clearly something's gonna happen. And no, he doesn't do that because she's like, this is gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me. And then she like steps on his foot. I'm like, obviously it's gonna hurt him more than it's gonna hurt you.
Like why would it hurt you? You're wearing like 16 heels. Like you're good. Like you're not gonna feel shit.
And I'm like, since when are you allowed to physically harm your parents? Like what the hell's happening?
The best part is like when she does it, like it's not like she TKOs him. Like he's still up and he can still talk. So like what happened in that moment where like she stabbed him?
Like pull out your cell phone and call the warden. Be like, call the game off. Like get him back into cuffs.
What did Hiram do? Just like cry in the corner? Like where did he go after that?
It was such that, and that's the thing. It's such a comic book moment. It's like you bonk somebody on the head with a mallet and then like run away. Like it's so stupid.
Yeah.
So anyway, so now she like cracks all the bottles of cans of Coke.
She gives him a signal. Yeah, with her fingers. She's like, go now. And then Josie's like, yas. And then like they like shake it or whatever they do with the can. I don't even know what's F's in there at this point. And then like they throw it into the pool. It looked cool. Like I'll give it to them. Like that this
visually,
moment looks cool. And then like there's a bunch of like fog that goes around Mad Dog and Archie.
And then Archie's like, yo, like come with me, Mad Dog. And then Mad Dog's like, no man, I fucking tried that damn great. I can't get in there. I'm too jacked. Like
he's like, I'm too hot for this.
He's like, I'm too sexy. My muscles are too thick. He's like, you're skinny and scrawny. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So he's like, he decides to like kind of stay back to like help him get away. So as he's like going into the grate, like Mad Dog kind of like fights the rest of the guards. So if he wasn't dead before, he's definitely dead now.
He's probably dead now. Yeah.
And then Hiram's like yelling, he's like, he's getting away. And then the warden's like going fucking psycho because he's also like losing his mind. And then, so that whole chaos happens.
But like no one was jumping into the hole. Like they're all freaking out and they know he jumped into into that hole. But like I didn't see no guards jumping in there. I'm like, you lazy asses! Like what are you guys doing? Like they're just like looking in the hole. But like go in.
Yeah, nothing happens.
No.
So anyway, he gets away, and as he's like leaving, Betty pulls him out from the other side, and we get a cute little moment with like Archie and Betty again.
Yeah,
and
this was
like,
actually so cute. And
like
it was
my favorite moment.
Like it was a really cute moment. He looked really messed up. Like he was covered in shit and like he was bleeding and like I forgot that he got stabbed too. Like he was like bleeding from his side.
He was in really bad shape.
Really bad shape, yeah.
Yeah. So then, so she pulls him out, and then she's like, "Okay, let's go." And as this is happening, still Jughead is trying to go through the whole storyline, and he's like, "Oh, so like now they're gonna do their great escape, whatever." And Betty is like driving her motorcycle. She's like this next level freaking like motocross person now.
Yeah, because now she can drive. Yeah.
And then the warden sees them, so then he calls people over to get him as well. So
like everyone's just like, going so slow. Like the guards are nowhere to be found. Like the warden's running at this point. Like this old.
So anyway, so then there's motorcycles who are coming after him, and like Jughead's like narrating the story. So like you kind of are starting to get amped, but also like annoyed at the same time. So like whatever that feeling is what I was feeling. So then like whatever, she gets stopped because then he's like, and then like everything stops, and then you realize that the police kind of corner Betty and stop her at a certain point,
right?
And then it turns out that it's actually
her.
It turns out that it's like Kevin. Like that
so
was
this was
her.
Smart. That was a smart plan for sure to have a decoy.
That was a good job, guys.
Yeah,
I was like that was a pretty good plan. Actually, it was a pretty solid plan.
Yeah.
So then I think right after that, Archie like basically drops into the bunker.
Well, they get picked up by they get picked up by Veronica, Reggie. They get him, and then they put him into Reggie's car, and then they drive away. So like they pick him up.
Got it. And then so then he just shows back up in the bunker, and everybody's like,
Yeah.
everybody's there. The
Yeah, he
entire cast
basically
is,
gets
like,
dropped down.
Yeah.
I'm like, this poor guy's bleeding. Like, guys, like, carry him down or something.
He's like, douche, and then
Yeah.
Jughead's like, oh hey. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're here.
Yeah.
He's like, I was playing a fake game while you were getting rescued, but cool, good to see you.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm
bro.
like, wow, you're literally the worst best friend ever. So then it shows like Tony, and she's like, suddenly she's like a medic, she's like a nurse now, and so she patches him up.
Yeah.
And then she asks, I think Veronica asks like, who like stabbed you? And then Archie says Joaquin is the one that stabbed me, and then
And
there's
Kevin's
a shot
like,
of like,
fuck, man.
Kevin, like, he's like, all the people that I love are like fucked up. He's like, he's so pissed.
He's like, I can't find one decent guy here.
He's like, all the gay guys here are fucking crazy. So then it is a cute scene. Here's the thing though, this is probably the one redeeming moment where you get to see everybody in the same space.
Yes.
Which was kind of cute, like literally the entire kid cast, which was really cool. Like, it's a very rare moment that you get to see them all in the same room, because especially this season, like, Archie's been in jail, like, everybody's kind of been doing their own thing.
Look, like I said before, I think, and you're right, like, I think seeing them all together, I love this moment, and I think they had to do it all together to get him out. I just can't believe that they would get him out in such a big prison. Like, he was like in a legit prison, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just like a little juvie like detention hall. Like, it was some serious next level like dark place. So that was unbelievable.
And to get him out the way that they got him out, I was like, that's fucking psycho, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she really could have pulled the Innocence Project out of her ass
I
and
agree.
been like, listen, like, there's an illegal like fight club going down. Like, can you guys just deal with that? I totally
agree.
You know
and
what I
I don't know why they didn't go that way. Like, I don't know, because I don't know.
I mean, it's more visual, right? They just wanted it to be more exciting. Like, no one actually wants to deal with the actual Innocence Project.
This doesn't make sense at all, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
anyway, we've
established that
too stupid this fucking storyline was this episode. So anyway, Veronica's like, everybody come around, and honestly, I thought she was gonna be like, thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. But she's like, everybody shut the fuck up, don't tell anybody what just went down today. Like, no one knows where Archie is, this is a full freaking secret. So it was cool, because I think that they were trying to mirror what the parents had done like the season before, or like the episode before,
how they all have
like
a secret,
a brand new secret together. So it was kind of cute, like it kind of makes them all connected, but also like I have a feeling of somebody who might like give it away, which I'll talk about in a second. So then it cuts back to the lodge residence.
Oh my god!
She's like, because Veronica's like, I gotta go home, so like, just letting you guys know, like, don't leave him alone, and don't say anything.
Yeah.
So she's like, I gotta go deal with my dad. So then it cuts back to the lodge residence, and
Hermione flipped. Like, she snapped.
Mind.
And I was happy that she did this, because finally, like, somebody was calling out their bullshit. Like,
yeah. And I think this was one of my favorite moments of the entire episode, is like Hermione's turn up. Like, I was like, girl, get it. Like,
she
finally,
ripped
like,
Hiram another asshole, and
then
then she was like, what the F are you doing? Like, you're ruining my name, you're ruining everything. Like, what the hell is this issue with like Archie? And then like right then, like, Veronica comes in too, and she's like, you too. She's like, you're driving me crazy. She's like, both of you are obsessed.
Yeah, because she literally says, she's like, are you fucking serious? Archie broke out of an underground fight club. Like, are you serious? Like, I am the mayor of this town. How could you be
what are you
this
trying to do to me?
Shit right now. And yeah, so then Veronica comes in. She's like, you both are psycho. You guys are obsessed with Archie. Like, I don't understand why you care so much about his red hair. And like, I don't understand why you care about him. And yeah, she just walks out. She's like, I'm going to have to talk to the warden now, because the Innocence Project is like on my back. Like, I need to fucking deal with this shit. She's like, just get out of my face. It was like a pretty boss ass moment.
No,
I was
for
like,
sure.
damn.
For sure.
Job,
I was
girl.
like, thank you, mommy. Like, mommy is coming through.
Yeah, for sure. I was very impressed. So then it cuts back to Pop's diner, and literally Reggie annoyed the F out of me in this moment, because he's like screaming at the top of his lungs, being like, I can't believe we broke our best friend out of jail. Like, I was like, can you please
Josie's like, can you shut the fuck up? You're so stupid.
And I was like, I feel like he's gonna be the one that like spills the tea, because he's an idiot.
Maybe.
And then you're like so protective of Reggie.
No, you know why? Because I just feel like that'll be too obvious. Like he's too stupid. I feel like they won't give it to him.
But that's what I mean. He's so stupid.
Yeah, but then like maybe.
So yeah, anyway, they're all talking, just the three of them sitting at Pops, and they're like, why isn't anybody telling us about this whole situation? Like, we still need to find out what happened, like, in the past with their parents. He's like, you know what we're going to do? The thing that no one told us, everybody told us not to do. We're all going to play the fucking game.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys are so dumb. Like, everybody deserves to die now. Like,
all of you are so dumb.
I can't deal with it. And then we get this crazy old school, like radio alert that like you never hear anymore.
Yeah, it was like alert.
We interrupt you for our top 10 radio station because somebody is broken out of jail. So they basically say that Archie Andrews is now broken out and he's armed and dangerous. And he's like, there's a manhunt essentially against Archie. And I'm like,
so this was my thing. I was like, guys, you're going to break him out, but you know people are going to be looking for him, right? Like, you can't just roll up to Fred Andrews' house and be like, your son is back home now. Like, how did you what's the next, what's like the plan B in all of this? Like, what happens now?
What's like the next step? And that's what I was thinking too. I was like, I don't know which one's worse, like him being in jail or you guys doing like a vigilante fucking like this like runaway like guy like storyline.
I just wanted him to be freed fair and square. I wanted them to find loopholes in his case, and I wanted him to be free that way. I didn't want him to be free this way of them breaking him out. Like, it just feels very cheap.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not going to get into it because
I really want to know. Yeah, I really want to know what you guys think about this season because honestly, like, I don't know how much more of this storyline I can take of him being a fugitive and him like running around. Like, what is he going to be AWOL the entire season? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. He's going to stay in that fucking bunker for the rest of the freaking season.
Yeah,
and like. And he's already missed so much. Like, I can't imagine him like doing his next thing. Like,
well, I feel like they've missed so much. I feel like we haven't had a normal Riverdale episode in time because they've all been doing some whack ass shit like the whole time.
It's
like
true.
I'm just ready for it to get back to what it was in like season 1.
Let's go back to season
I'm just going to start rewatching season 1, guys. That's where I'm going to be tonight. So
Riverdale rewatch season 1. Started from the beginning.
Yeah.
So then it cuts back to the bunker and like the Bughead is basically watching Archie sleep and Jughead's still saying like this game is bigger than we thought it was, and Betty's kind of catching on now because she's like, yeah, they called him like the Red Paladin, and you know, the warden might like the thing that's on his like that's been branded on him is an actual symbol from the game. So they're like, there must be something larger that's going on. And then Jughead's like, yeah, maybe Warden Norton is the Gargoyle King. And Betty's like, honestly, bro, like, I love you and everything, but you need to go to sleep. Like, you need to just chill out.
She's like, go home and shower. Like, you smell.
Yeah. So then he leaves, and then, like, Betty's just, like, kind of checking him out, like, from the side. And I was like, ooh, Barchie.
Like, oh, yeah, like, what's going to happen? Can something exciting happen in this episode?
Like, something dramatic happening, please. So then it cuts back to the warden, and the warden's just like looking at like two cards, and they're both like Gargoyle King, or not Gargoyle Kings, Griffins and Gargoyles King, Gargoyle cards, and one of them is like the Red Paladin, and then one of them is a Paladin, and one of them says kill the Red Paladin as like an action card, I guess.
Right.
And he like looks really disappointed because clearly he didn't kill him.
He didn't kill him.
And so as this thing is happening, somebody comes in and is like Mayor Lodge is like here to see you, and he's like 1 second, and then the narration kind of continues. I think it's Jughead like talking, and he's like, the cyanide was always the answer. We will never know like why the warden did what he did. And then you see him like pulling out that next level goblet that he had on the side. Yeah. And then he like pours cyanide into it. He drinks it and he like dies.
And then he's dead. Yeah. So goodbye.
That was annoying. And thank God like you are gone. And so I guess the one thing that we should probably really mention quickly is I guess he really wasn't a pedophile. He just like was doing what the gargoyle.
No, and I think we knew that he wasn't like that. They're not going to go along with the pedo like storyline, but honestly, I just want to know.
I would have been probably more okay with that than what happened this season. This episode.
Yeah, it's more realistic maybe, but I just hope that whatever they get to in the end, I hope they explain what are these people's like incentive for playing the game?
Yes.
Like, why is a grown-ass man warden of a prison like playing a game right now?
And I think that's what I had said from the get-go too, is the stakes are very, 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 very high this season, because they had already said it, saying, you know, like the Jason Blossom murder was not that bad, and like the Black Hood thing was not as bad as this. Like, this is like some next fucking level, like scary storyline, and like all this crazy shit is happening now. People are dying literally left, right, and center. And so the stakes are very high to like have a really good payoff. And I really, really am praying and hoping that this doesn't stop Recap Rewind from watching the show.
Yeah.
'Cause
yeah.
by the end of the season, if it's like the dumbest shit ever, I'm going to be very, very, very
Guys, I texted like JLAG, like in the middle of the episode, I texted him being like, I'm worried. Like,
Yeah.
because I'm literally worried. Like, I'm worried for like the existence of this show. And like, I know they're always going to have their fans. I get that. But like, and we're always going to be around. But like, it's just veering off tracks very quickly. And I'm scared that they're not going to be able to get back on it.
Yeah, for sure. That being said though, like I don't know what more I want from the show other than just like the same characters going through the same stuff. I don't know. Like,
no, like
it's
even
such
just
a
looking,
unique show, right?
Even just looking back on season 1, like it was such an amazing build up, and then like with what happened at the end with like even with Jason's like murder, it was very subtle, but it was like still cool and interesting. And then you got like the kids drama on the side with the parents drama. So like it all worked. This is like so effing extra, and it's so in your face, and it's so intense. And I feel like they're just doing that because it's a season 3, and like they have to kind of just like get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But it just feels like they're losing me in the process.
Yeah, they're getting too big.
They're getting way too big, for sure.
Like at this point, you might as well just do a crossover with Sabrina, because you guys are basically going pretty magical and crazy and like culty and weird. So I don't know. I'm really praying for you guys. Literally praying for all the writers of Riverdale right now. We're not even done with the episode actually. So the very final sequence is Jughead leaving the bunker, and he sees the Gargoyle King in the woods.
Yeah.
And the Gargoyle King sees him, and Jughead bows down to him, and then that's how the episode ends.
Yeah.
So what did you think of that finale scene?
Okay, so my thing right now, my closest, I think, theory that I have is I feel like they're dreaming when they see him. I feel like he's only there in dreams. So I feel like Betty even telling him, like, go home, like, you're tired. I feel like the way they cut that is, like, maybe he was already home, he's already sleeping, and, like, at some point in his dream, like, he sees the Gargoyle King.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess I could see that. I can definitely see that being like more of a figment of their imagination. But we also do have to remember that Jughead and Betty also saw him for realsies in the woods like a couple episodes back, right? So he does exist. Maybe that was proper.
Bethel. I don't know.
I don't fucking know. Anyway, guys, let's get into our recap roundups.
Recap roundups.
Best moment. My best moment was, I think, the VARCHIE reunion. Like, it was, I think, one of the cutest moments in an episode that is very, very flawed.
The first one, right? Like when they were in the locker room.
Yeah. Like when they actually like do it for like probably the first time all season, right? Like they haven't really been together all season. That was cute. Like it was a cute, like hot moment.
Yeah, that was a good moment. My best moment is gonna go to them all in the bunker, because I thought it was really cool to see the entire cast with Archie banding together for this like idiot of a kid, and it was cool.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was a cute moment.
WTF moment.
My WTF moment has to be Joaquin stabbing Archie. Like I was full out gagged. I was like, what the hell did he just do?
What's happening?
Yeah, because like he just kissed him.
Yeah. First of all, the kiss was already a WTF.
Yeah.
And then the freaking stab was like the second WTF, like 2 seconds later. I was like, I don't know what's happening. It's too much. I'm like, do you love him or what? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
My WTF moment is when the warden brands him, because I was like, this is too much. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Yes, exactly.
And like literally, like even like Archie's reaction, I don't even know if it was like an acting thing or just like the way they kind of played it, but like he was like, no, do not do this to me, please, no. I was like, I would be screaming my fucking head off if I was being branded while being tied to a bed. Like I don't understand why this is happening.
And I definitely think that now that we see the end of the episode, we understand why he did it. Like, it was part of the game, and like he's probably just freaking crazy. But you know what I mean? Like, he's doing it because he has to do it for the game. But like,
but just
I just
seeing
didn't.
it happen, like a full-grown adult doing this to a child, like it's too much.
It's just too much.
Like,
it's too much.
I was like, Riverdale, what's going on with you? Do we need to talk? Do you need to sit down? Do you need to take a break? Do you need to like go sleep or something? Like, Riverdale, chill.
I wonder if like the branding will affect Archie somehow. Like it creates like a darkness in him or something.
Oh God, I don't want to deal with that right now.
Yeah,
guys.
I don't even know why I said that.
MVP. Who's your MVP?
My MVP is gonna go to Veronica / and Monica Posh.
Monica Posh.
Both of the girls.
Both of the girls. Each one gets 1 point.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, technically she did break her man out of jail. So I think that's enough of a reason to give her to like let her have that role for sure. She was a little extra, I will say, as she is, because she's Veronica.
That's just Veronica, yeah.
Like, she literally comes in and she's like, everybody stop what you're doing. This is more important.
This is about me right now, okay?
Yeah, she's just too much sometimes, and I forget how annoying she can get sometimes. My MVP is gonna go to her mommy, Hermione.
Yes.
She wasn't necessarily the MVP of the entire episode because she only kind of comes in that moment, but I really was impressed with Marisol Nichols / Hermione coming through, and like she finally gets like an activated role. Like, she was literally yelling at her whole family, which we never got to see. Last time we saw her, she was like moping in the corner and crying and drinking wine. So to see her in this moment, this episode, I was very impressed, and like, I hope we see a lot more of her being more aggressive. Yeah, for sure. LVP.
My LVP is gonna go to Kevin, I think, just because everyone else was down for that effing plan. Everyone else fulfilled their roles, and Kevin literally like had to unscrew the lock, couldn't do that. And then his second role was to basically just sit behind a motorcycle, and like Betty has to drive him to like the checkpoint. Like, he is literally useless. Like, I don't even know what else to say about Kevin.
And like, he has really bad taste in men, clearly.
Yeah, clearly.
Like, his choices are very, very poor.
Yeah.
My LVP is gonna go to Archie, because the entire cast of Riverdale had to break you out of jail because of what you did. You're an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're a dumbass. And he annoyed the crap out of me this episode, for real. Like, he really pissed me off. And I was like, I'm watching this damn episode, wasting a whole hour of my life, and then another hour doing this podcast because he decided to get into jail. I'm very upset with him right now.
Archie, you are ruining my life right now.
Yeah, very angry.
The best line.
What was your best line?
My best line, it's from Veronica when she's like, all right, maybe it was Monica Posh. When she sees him in the pool with the bag over his head, and she's like, I'd recognize those abs anywhere.
That's my line too.
Yeah.
I know I'd recognize those abs anywhere.
Yeah, it was so good.
Oh my God. Yeah, for sure. She had some pretty decent,
she had some good
funny
lines.
moments.
Yeah.
But other than that, the writing was terrible.
Even at one point, because I think like Elio owns like casinos. So like instead of him owning a speakeasy, he's like 18 and like owns like casinos, which is cool. But like she like refers to the Miragio, which is like a ripoff of like the Bellagio.
Oh, like Bellagio.
Yeah.
So stupid, guys. What show am I watching right now?
I don't know. It's time for bed. We have actually one roundup from at Postmaster Radio. Quickly, his favorite moment was VARCHIE, but with blonde Veronica. So he actually liked Monica Posh. His WTF moment was Joaquin with Archie. At least he's sorry. His MVP is Betty due to G&G. His LVP goes to Jughead because of G&G. And then his best line is, I hear he always wins, about Elio.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. I don't know, guys. This was a rough one. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it.
I'm very excited to hear what you guys have to say about it. So thank you for your comments throughout the episode. I hope you guys at least enjoyed our podcast more than the actual episode. Let us know what you guys think and what you guys are looking forward to for the next episode.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's it. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.